we ask our students and faculty to expect respect. With that in mind, we work hard to instill values of personal pride and respect for those performing in our musical ensembles. We are also teaching our students proper concert etiquette as part of our music curriculum. We ask that we all respect both performers and audience members by observing the following steps. Please choose to show your enthusiasm only through applause at appropriate times. Avoid extra noises, such as unwrapping candy, talking to neighbors, or allowing cell phones to ring. Please put cell phones away. The lights and sounds are distracting to the performers and fellow audience members who are trying to see and hear their student. Be a proud North Hills concert goer by refraining from talking or exiting the auditorium if possible during the performance. Please consider staying until the end of the concert so that all students have a full audience. We thank you for your kind attention to these ideas. At North Hills, we strive to give every child the most meaningful and positive arts education, which includes a successful performance experience. Now, on with the show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us tonight for our winter band concert. We look forward to sharing a snapshot of what we've been learning in our classes with our students. Each group will also share a piece from the season. Thank you to our administrators and school board members that have joined us tonight. Your support is what allows us to do what we do for our students and for our community. The experiences that our students receive in music education do make a difference in their lives. As you're listening, I invite you to realize that very few students on this stage will major in music. That's not why we do this. But they will take with them to whatever they choose to do an understanding of excellence, the experience of setting goals, both individual and group, and then meeting those goals. An improved work ethic that is second to none. Problem-solving, creative, and interpersonal skills that universities and employers are looking for, and friendships and opportunities and memories that will last them their lifetime. And all of this with an extraordinary peer group, as you'll see tonight, studying the essential art form of music, which has proven time and time again to increase achievement inside and outside of the classroom. It's a pretty amazing opportunity, if you ask us, and I congratulate all these students for what they continue to accomplish together. We are especially excited for our freshmen who are performing for the first time as a high school student, as a member of the concert band and symphonic band. It is a big adjustment at first, but one that they're ready for. Even in the last couple weeks, we can see the rewards from the perseverance that they've shown as they grow together. I must say, I've never given a welcome to a concert surrounded by 11 tuba players. So this is a pretty cool thing. I kind of wasn't expecting this when I came out. So without further ado, we're so excited to have you here with us. Can you please welcome to the microphone and to the podium our great friend and my great colleague, Mr. Lucas Weaver.
As Mr. Lavelle just alluded to, it's kind of hard. We kind of gave away our first piece. It's kind of hard to hide this one, but we're so excited. The first piece that's listed in your program is "Hark the Herald Tubas Sing," and that doesn't give it away on its own. This is 11 tubas up here of all of our high school bands. This is every tuba player in our 4 high school concert bands. We put this piece together, the tubas did, that's one section here, 5 minutes ago. And they sound phenomenal already, so the concert band is going to play the accompaniment parts. You're going to hear some of them have the melody at some points. But this is certainly a tuba feature piece, and we've had a great time learning this. This is "Hark the Herald Tubas Sing." Hills High School Tuba section. Wonderful. So our tuba players are going to make their way off stage here. The next piece of the concert band will perform, our second out of 4 pieces, is called Into the Clouds by Richard Saucedo. It's one of the first pieces we began learning this year. It's a really exciting piece. The kids really enjoyed learning it. It's going to feature some solos on our oboe. It's going to feature our clarinet section and our flute section. And it's a really energetic piece and kind of uplifting with the melodies and all the accompaniment parts. So we hope you enjoy Into the Clouds.
conducting them, I cannot help but smile. At this time of year especially, but every time that I get the opportunity each day to step in front of the students, there's something that they're doing better, and there's something that I haven't heard in a good way before. And that literally was one of those experiences is for me, being in front of them. That piece, it's a wonderful piece by James Swearingen, and you can hear that he carries melodies throughout the piece. And that's the challenging part for us, that he takes those melodies, and while they might be easy to listen to in the audience, some of them are in very challenging keys to play. So while we started in B flat major, a very comfortable key for us, we went to some very far away keys that are considered very advanced tonalities. And the students did wonderfully with them. And I'm glad in hindsight that we gave them the challenge, and they rose to that occasion. As I said when we first started, tonight will be a snapshot of the music that we've been playing this year. And we started the year with Claire Grunman's, this is the Little Suite for band. Claire Grunman wrote so much music for our medium, many suites. We're going to play for you the last movement, the festival of his Little Suite. And right after this, we'll be out with our symphonic band. Thank you so much, and we'll close this portion of the program with Claire Grunman's Little Suite, the festival. piece we performed with Symphonic Band is by one of our favorite composers, Pierre Laplante. He writes absolutely wonderful music for students at the high school level. And if you've been to our concerts, you've heard many of his works before. That one was a 3-movement work, obviously on songs of the British Isles. At the end, you may have noticed the Scottish melody, Auld Lang Syne, which makes it even more fun and appropriate to do at this time of year. We appreciate you not clapping between the movements. We debated if we should ask first, and we thought this audience would get it and would be on board with that. And we did have 4 people stand at the end of the piece there. And I'd like to recognize those students. We had flute soloists by Nina Walter and Mackenzie Mallory, if we can give them a round of applause. But we also featured in almost every movement our bassoon section. And our bassoons are new to those instruments over the last, about year, is that right? And so both Reagan and Lex O'Connell are very talented musicians who play flute in Wind Symphony and who play bassoon in this group. And that piece, at many moments from the very first wind note, feature our bassoons, and they have come so far in a short amount of time. It was wonderful to feature them that way. Can we have a round of applause for our The next piece we're going to play for you is also based on a folk song, like our first piece was, but we go from the British Isles back here to the United States, and the American folk song, Arkansas Traveler. We hope you enjoy traveling music.
Thank you very much. The next piece we're going to play, one of the most important things we learn about in band is to play in a variety of different styles. One of the most important styles specific to the band world is a march. You're going to hear a couple marches tonight. The wind ensemble will play one, and we're going to play one for you right now. We learned this march pretty early on in the year, so we've had a lot of time to prepare it, and I think the kids have done a really great job of really paying attention to musical details. The march is entitled Alamo March, so it was written by Carl King, arranged by James Swearingen in honor of the Battle of the Alamo in Texas. So we hope you enjoy Alamo March. Right now is our Wind Symphony. The first piece they're going to play for you is entitled American Fanfare. And this is a really neat piece. It became one of my favorites. I was unfamiliar with it. But it presents the melody of My Country 'Tis of Thee a few times throughout the piece, but it's not like you'd be expecting to hear it. So there's some very cool fanfare parts, as is suggested in the title, but there's also some very neat chromatic harmonies that you'll hear. So I know you'll enjoy this one. It's a very short but super energetic piece, an American Fanfare.
The next piece we're going to play for you is an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous work by one of the world's finest composers. When Holst wrote this in 1904, he dedicated it to Alta Sue Hawkins, who was a clarinetist, and who suggested the work. And then she had 3 children, and you'll hear each one of the children represented on their instrument as a solo throughout the piece. You may have heard this piece performed before by a choir. It's probably most commonly performed that way. This transcription is absolutely gorgeous. It'll take you through a lot of different colors. And again, if you want to just imagine, or even close your eyes and imagine being in the most serene, beautiful, pastoral winter scenes. This is Gustav Holst in the Bleak Midwinter.
And the last piece, the Wind Symphony will perform for you this evening. It kind of has a neat origin to how it came to be. So there was, years ago, about early 2000s, there was a commission project called the American Composers Forum. So it was composers that would write professionally, and they were assigned to a certain school, and these professional composers would write music that's accessible to high schoolers. And it was a project where they would go and interact with the students and get their input on how the piece would be composed. So this is one of those pieces. It was part of that commissioning project. So it was a professional composer that took a step back from his professional writing and wrote for a high school ensemble. So the piece is called Sweet Like That. The title came from, it has a jazz origin to a jazz piece with a similar title. And he describes it as an urban march. So it's a really uplifting tune. There's a bass drum beat you'll hear, and there's some fanfares in the brass, and it's just an overall really neat piece. So here is Sweet Like That.
We opened with Invictus March by Carl King, which is a grand entry type march. It's a circus march, but not all circus marches are screamers. So this would be the march that when the animals or the circus began, or maybe when the elephants were doing a portion of the show, he would have programmed the Invictus March. The next piece we're going to play for you is half of one of the major works that we're working on for our performance at the Concert Band National Convention in Indianapolis in March. The major work, as you can see in your program, is Give Us This Day by David Maslanka, his short symphony for band. The short symphony is about 17 and a half minutes long. We're playing the second movement today, which is the fast movement. He does slow, fast out of the two. It's an incredibly dramatic work, a work, quite frankly, that I've wanted to do for a very, very long time, and it just fits this band, and we're very excited to share it with you right now. As you continue to listen to the band, the next concert that we have in February, which was our Wind Ensemble Invitational, we'll do the entire short symphony for band. So tune in next time to see how it starts. This is the second and final movement of Maslanka's short symphony. Give Us This Day. We'll do our 50-50 very quickly, and then I'll give you a couple other things.
So this last number, I couldn't be more excited about this last number. I think you're really going to enjoy it. It couldn't be anything further different from what you just heard on the stage. It's an absolutely beautiful arrangement of all blend design. You're going to hear the melody presented in a few different ways on different instruments. And we will certainly invite you to sing along with the melody at the end. It's printed in your program, but it's an absolutely gorgeous piece. We're so excited to share it with you. Thank you so much for coming this evening. Thank you so much for supporting music in our schools, making band an important part of your children's education. I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being a great audience, students. We're going to get some pictures of our wind ensemble and wind symphony students now. So if we could have the front third of the auditorium cleared, we'll get them their pictures and we'll get everybody out here. Have a wonderful holiday. Can we have one more round of applause for all of our students? Thank you, folks.